Do you think this choker's a little bit too much? Should I try and take it off? Let's see what it looks like without it. Why am I even trying to take it off? Who am I kidding? I am too much. Done. We're leaving it. Should we leave it? I think that looks better, doesn't it? The choker's staying on, huns. Who am I kidding? Like, I am too much. But for my hun buns that are coming back, I'm not too much for you. Hello, honeys. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're just joining me now, then I am a tiny bit too much. I've got a blue scrunchie, which matches my blue denim jacket, which matches my nails. I have my nails done. This is all very exciting. Oh, food on that one. Baby blue, baby blue, baby blue. Yes, I am wearing a swimsuit. I like wearing swimsuits as bodysuits because I like the texture of them and I also like the way they look. Yeah, I love this one. It's got a really low back as well. It's really nice. So I thought match the eyes with the top, blue scrunchie with the denim jacket with the nails, and then choker just because... well, just because. Because I'm sparkling today and because I'm talking about a topic which, let's be honest, we've got to shine through. So this is Broken Friendships Part 2. I'm doing a story time today, huns, and if you didn't watch Broken Friendships Part 1, then I probably would suggest watching that first, so I'll link it below. Oh, what's the hair saying? Is it saying too much? It's not actually speaking because hair doesn't speak. Anyway, I'm really excited to film. I am so excited to film. I haven't filmed for like 3 days and I'm like, but I need to speak to my hun buns. So today I'm filming Broken Friendships Part 2. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much to my huns who watched Broken Friendships Part 1. I'm shaking the actual chair right now. Are you okay? No, I'm not. The response from Broken Friendships Part 1 was literally insane. The amount of you that have gone through the same thing as this, it's actually incredible in a way that we can speak about it. Like, I think it's amazing that I can share with you a story which really wasn't nice to go through. And the fact that you empathise with me and the fact that some of you have been through it too. I mean, obviously I wish no one had ever been through a situation like that. And it's really nice that we can share it because we can be like, listen, I went through it and I'm out the other end. Do you know what I mean? Yes, my independent hun buns. Let's be honest. If you're going through Broken Friendships Part 1 right now, then huns, just know you will get out the other end. There's a little light at the end of the tunnel. And the little light says, you don't need those huns, ex-huns, ex-friends, whoever they were. They're definitely not huns, but you don't need them. You don't need someone in your life that's toxic, whether they're a friend, whether they're a boyfriend. If someone in your life is draining you of your emotional energy, your physical energy, why are you having them in your life? They're toxic. Get rid. Get rid. Life is too short to not have people treat you the way you treat them. That's one thing I really struggled with growing up, finding friends that treated me the way I treated them, because I used to think, well, I wouldn't do that to you, so why are you doing it to me? But you deserve friends in your life that treat you the way you treat them. If you treat them with loyalty, respect, and love, that's all that matters. And if they're not giving that back, then Hans, we need to get gone. Also, something really exciting just before we begin, I am going to do the story time, but I just thought I'd let you know that I'm doing an open meetup. Please, 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 if you can make the meetup, please come. So it's going to be from 12 till 4 in Brighton. I'm going to meet you at Brighton Station. If your train's getting a bit later than 12, don't worry. Me and Ben's a lad and Jade B and Hugo B are all going to be there and we will wait for you. So if your train does get in late, don't worry about it. I would love it if you can come, and if you can't, I completely understand. I understand that it's really far to travel to Brighton. I understand that it's expensive, so just wait, because I promise you there will be a time where it'll be closer to you, huns. I promise. I'm gonna meet all of you, I promise you, but if you can make the meetup, then I would love it. I would love it. I can't wait to cuddle you, squeeze you, take pictures, vlog it, love each other, just have the best time with my huns. It's just gonna be amazing. So it's did I even say the date? No. So it's the 23rd. Apparently I can't get my words out. Are you okay? So it's the 23rd of August from 12 till 4 in Brighton. So I'm going to meet you at Brighton Station. So I hope you can come. I would love it. I just said that, but I would love it. So I have this really weird thing where I have to have something on my stomach when I'm talking. Like, this has to be something where I rest. It's really weird. My mum's always done it, so I think I've watched my mum growing up and now I do it. Like, I have to have a bag sitting on me or a pillow. It's so strange. It is so strange, but then what can you expect? Because I'm very strange. Some of you were saying to me, why did you live with these girls after they were so nasty to you? Basically, I'd already paid an enormous deposit. Like, the deposit was horrific. Honestly, that deposit was something I've never even heard of in my life. And I was thinking, I'm not getting that back. I'm not getting that back. Also, they were my friendship group at uni. So I was like, what am I gonna do? Honestly, I felt trapped. It was really funny. It's a Love Island quote, but I felt like I'd put all my eggs in one basket and I felt as though they were my only friends at uni. So if I sort of pushed them aside, I was like, I've got no one. Basically, when we were on holiday, I said, whoever gets the smallest room should pay less. Because the small room was not half the size of the other rooms. It was a third, not even that. It was like a quarter of the size of the other rooms. So basically we had a 4-bedroom flat and we turned it into a 5-bedroom flat so we could afford it, so it was cheaper. And also that way we could all live together. Basically we turned the lounge into a bedroom. The lounge was huge. Every single room was a double room. They all had built-in wardrobes, but the little single room was a study. It wasn't even a study. It was a room that people needed to study and figure out what it was, because I'm being serious. There was no room for anything. For nothing. So we all agreed on holiday that we'd pick names out of a hat for the room. However, obviously that wasn't the plan. So when we got back off holiday, the girl that I got the morning after pill for, the one that loved to copy me but didn't actually like to be nice to me, funny that one, she messaged in the group chat and said, shall we just pick out names in the hat now, because we might as well do it before we get to London. When she said that to me, I told my mum and dad. My mum and dad were like, do not let them do it when you're not there, because they will fix it and they will make it so that you get the smallest room. And I was like, they wouldn't do that. Why was I apparently the most naive person in the world? I don't even think it's naive. I think it's my best quality, but also my worst quality. I like to see the best in people, and unfortunately that can be the best thing at times, but it can be the worst in situations like this. It's like, no, I'll let them do it. A part of me thought, will they set me up to get the smaller room? But then a part of me didn't want to believe that. I didn't actually want to believe these girls would do that to me, even though we'd had a horrible holiday. But I remember I sat there, and in the WhatsApp group it was like, 5th room, Imogen. 5th room meaning the smallest room. So I said on holiday, before I knew I had the smallest room, I said whoever gets the smallest room should definitely pay less. It's only fair. The smallest room was so small. It had literally a bed up against the wall, and then it had a tiny wardrobe. The wardrobe literally had like, it could fit like 5 hangers in it. It was that thin. It was so thin, and then nothing else. Bless me. That was a really quiet sneeze for me, a really quiet sneeze. Normally I used to get sent out of class for my sneezes being so loud, but that was a quiet one. Probably because it's 11 o'clock at night and I'm trying to be a little bit quiet. Anyway, so I got the smallest room. So I messaged in the group and said, okay, I got the smallest room, so does that mean I'm paying less then, as we discussed? They came back with, no, definitely not. Sorry? I don't care about having a small room. I don't care about having a small room. It's the fact that I definitely should have paid less. What I was paying for that small room was obscene. And I was like, listen, you have balconies, you have double beds, one has a sofa. They all had built-in wardrobes. They had so much space. They all had desks. So they said no. Anyway, my parents turned around to me and said, Imogen, they've set you up. And I didn't believe it. I genuinely didn't believe it. I was like, no, they wouldn't do that to me. Like, obviously my name just got pulled out of a hat. Basically, there was a girl that moved in with us who didn't come on the holiday. She was, at the beginning, my little angel. Let's call her Samantha. Samantha was the girl I was closest to. So me, Samantha, and the girl who I bought the morning after pill, what did I call her? I'm gonna call her Sally. Anyway, so Sally, me, and Samantha were all there. I can't remember what I called her, but anyway. So we were all there and we'd moved in first. The other 2 girls were yet to move in. So we moved in, and me being me, I was like, you can all borrow my clothes, you can share whatever you want. Like, if you want anything, just let me know. I've got makeup bits, like we can all share. So that day, me and Samantha went for a little walk around the area, and we said to Sally, why don't you come meet us? She comes to meet us in my clothes. Listen, I know I said I'd share, and I share everything. I share everything with everyone. Sharing is caring. I've always gone by that mentality. I love sharing, but ask me before you rock up in my clothes. I think that's so disrespectful. She had my leather jacket, my shirt, my jeans, my trainers, head to toe. She probably even had a choker chucked in there. I don't really remember it. I wasn't nasty because I'm not a nasty person, but I'm not someone that will say something behind someone's back. I'd say it to someone's face. I was like, oh, baby girl, like, I don't mind you borrowing my stuff, but I would much rather if you'd ask me next time. Like, you can borrow anything, but make sure you ask. She was like, oh, I just assumed because you said we could share. I was like, sharing isn't going into someone's room when they're not there and taking their clothes. Okay, so then the next day we were just chilling, and Sally went out with her parents. She went out with her parents to get some bits from IKEA and stuff like that. She had her iPad, and her bedroom was the biggest of all. So she had the lounge and the sofa and the bed, which she paid the same as me for. Okay, not that I'm angry about that one or anything, but you know. When she went out, she was like, oh, you can chill in my room for a bit. I've got the iPad in there. And we were getting the internet that day. Oh, I'll never forget this. The guy came over to sort the internet out, and you know when an iPad connects to the Wi-Fi, loads of messages popped up. Loads of messages on the iPad just popped up. And when they were popping up, some of them said my name. It was like ding, 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 ding. Loads of them were coming through, and loads of them said my name. Nobody in their right mind would not want to see what was said. I can remember seeing them, and I remember thinking that wasn't a very nice context. Like, the way I was spoken about, it wasn't nice. So I was like, right, I'm definitely looking at this. And I'm sitting with Samantha, and Samantha didn't come on the holiday with us. Samantha was so nice before they tainted her. Samantha was like, read that. What are they saying? The group chat between the 3 other girls. So it was me and Samantha, we weren't in the group chat, and the 3 other girls, wow. The messages that I read, bearing in mind, this was the second day. And I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to live with these girls. The messages were disgusting. They were like, ha, my mum thinks it's hilarious that we set her up. My mum thinks it's so funny. Their mums apparently thought it was hilarious. And I remember thinking, the reason they are the way they are is because of their upbringing. Their parents clearly are the reason they are the way they are. And if their mums find it funny that a 20-year-old girl has been set up to get the smallest room, then clearly they're just like their mums, because that is really, really not nice. That is like, no, I'm sorry. My mum would never be like, ha, you set her up to get the smallest room. My mum would never condone that. My mum would be like, that is disgusting, don't ever do that to a girl. So they were like, ha ha ha, she thinks that we picked it out of a hat. Honestly, I'm not gonna use the words that they were saying about me, but it was disgusting. The words they were using to describe me, I wouldn't even describe as someone I disliked. They were so horrible. They were like, I can't believe we're gonna have to effing live with her. They were calling me all the names under the sun, every swear word you can imagine. They were taking the mick out of what I wore on holiday. And I was like, you borrowed some of my stuff when we were on holiday, so I don't know why you were taking the mick out of me. Bearing in mind, this was the girl I got the morning after pill for, and these girls were meant to be my friends. They were laughing. And you know when you read something and you're like, you actually feel sick. You're like, I'm living with these girls now for a year. I was signed into a year's contract and I was like, I'm living with girls who don't like me, who have slagged me off, and who have deliberately made me get the smallest room, lied to me. And I was just like, really? You know when you just have to take a minute and you're like, I would never be that nasty about someone. I would never live with someone I dislike that much. Like if they dislike me that much, they should have spoken to me about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think I'm perfect. I'm an angel. We're all angels, but I don't think I'm perfect. But I definitely did not deserve or do anything to warrant being called what I was being called on these messages. It was like they were constantly messaging about me. Like I literally scrolled back and it was like all on holiday. It was just evil stuff. It was evil. I did have a big cry to Samantha, and Samantha was like, and they were slagging Samantha off too. They were slagging Samantha off, but not to the same degree or not to the same extent. But Samantha was really upset about it because Samantha was very sweet, very shy. She wouldn't have had a go at them. But I was so angry. You know when you're like, how can anyone actually talk about me like that and be that nasty and do this? Not only was I in the smallest room and still paying the same as them, they'd set it up, like my parents said. And I wanted to believe the best. I wanted to believe that they were actually nice people. Somewhere deep down I thought that they had some goodness in them, but they definitely didn't. So then Sally gets back and I went in. I'm not gonna lie to you, Hans. I went in. I was like, you are vile. I said, you're vile. The way you have spoken about me, I've seen it all. I said, don't even have a go at me about going through your iPad. You left us here with your iPad. My name was popping up. You would have done the same. I said, you're disgusting. I said, how can you do that? How can you speak about me like that? I helped you on holiday. I looked after you and apparently I've got change I didn't even know I had. Thank you for that one. I will be spending that on some sweets when I'm editing this video at 1 o'clock in the morning. Anyway, then the other girl was crying and she was like, I can't believe you talk about me like that as well. And I was like, this is horrible for her because she was very sweet and innocent and she didn't witness what they were like on holiday. I wasn't gonna make her dislike them, but I wanted to say to her, like, I've witnessed stuff beforehand, so I knew. And then the other two girls were yet to arrive. They arrived the next day. But when they did arrive, they came with their parents. They came with their parents and I was like, I don't care. You come with your parents, I don't care. I'm still gonna have a go at you. So in front of their parents, I went crazy. I can't even believe I'm telling you this, but yeah, I did. I was like, you are horrible. And do you know what they said to me? They were like, we had really bad rooms last year and we wanted a better room this year. I was like, wait, what? That is nothing to do with that. If you wanted a bigger room, you should have just said to me, Imogen, we had really bad rooms last year. Bearing in mind, I didn't have an amazing room myself, but I'm quite selfless. If they wanted a big room, they could have just said that to me and we would have come to some sort of compromise. But it's the fact that they literally went out of their way to set me up. One of the mums, she said to me, she said something really weird. She's like, you can't trust anyone. She was like, yeah, she messed up, but you can't trust anyone in this world. If you're telling me that's the way you're justifying your daughter's actions, that you can't trust anyone in this world, that's ridiculous. Like, oh, Imogen, you're too trusting. No, I'm just a nice person and clearly your daughter just isn't. One of them literally laughed. One of them, I remember, she did not give a rubbish. She did not give a rat's bum. She didn't care. She was like, laughing. One of them cried because she'd got found out. She didn't cry because she cared. She was crying like, you're gonna tell everyone at uni? Am I a child? Do I need to go and tell everyone at uni? No. I'm gonna tell all of my huns on YouTube. That's what I'm gonna do. I was like, all you care about is what you look like. And you don't really look like a very nice person. Let's be honest. Can you tell I've got a bit of a sore throat, Huns? Guys. I used to be obsessed with those fridges where they had the ice, the crushed and the cubed. And now Dad's got one. I'm so excited. Honestly, I'm so excited. I'm like, Dad, you don't understand. It has water, cubed and crushed ice. Got a bit of crushed ice in here, didn't I? It makes me feel like I'm on holiday when I have ice in my drink. I remember calling my mum and dad, and my mum and dad were like, they knew that those girls were like it. I remember thinking, oh no, I've got to live with these girls for a year. So then when we started uni the next week, going into our second year, it was a tiny bit awkward. There had other girls in our friendship group that weren't living with us, but they took their side as well because majority rules, obviously, and I'm the minority. I had Samantha. I loved Samantha so much. She was, for the first couple of months, without her, I wouldn't have survived there. She was the person that I would sit in my room with. We'd watch Disney films together. Obviously, I realised I had to live with these girls and I had to go to uni with these girls, so I was going to be okay with them. I had a year left. They'd apologised slightly. I mean, their apologies were really empty and they weren't really apologies, but I was like, listen, I'm a bigger person, let's just move on from it. Let's forget it ever happened. Let's start a clean slate. God knows why I did that. Like, I look back now and I'm telling you about it and I'm like, if I was you watching this, I'd be like, what are you doing, Imogen? They were everywhere. I lived with them. I went to uni with them and I felt as though I didn't have anyone else. I'm gonna be honest, that's how I felt. And it's so sad. One thing I've really learned from this whole situation is I would rather have been on my own, lived in that house and never spoken to them, gone to university, did what I had to do, never surrounded myself with them because they're not nice people. And actually, I would much rather be on my own. See, if I can tell you one thing, it's stop being scared of your own company. You don't need anyone. It's amazing if you have friends in your life that are supportive, loyal, and caring. Hold on to those. I have friends like that now and they are not going anywhere. They are staying with me and I have finally found some. But I promise you, if someone in your life is dragging you down and not being nice, you don't need them. Being on your own isn't scary. We work it up so much, like, I could never be on my own. Yeah, you can. When you'd rather be on your own and happy than be in a friendship which is horrific and you're being bullied. You're in a friendship where you feel on edge, you feel as though they're going to be nasty to you. That's not right. I'm going slightly off tangent, so we're gonna get back to it. Obviously, I realised I'm gonna have to be friends with these girls. So we started going out in London. I made friends with most promoters in London because I was like, listen, I don't want to spend money getting into clubs. I'm gonna be honest with you, clubs in London are expensive to get into, and I was like, I'm gonna make friends with the promoters because I used to promote when I was younger in Brighton, so I was like, I'm gonna make friends with the promoters so I can go to the clubs in London. Well done, Imogen. Fixed up, look sharp. You know about this girl. I worked at Hollister on the weekends and I made some friends there and they knew some promoters. I used to go out with them sometimes and I made friends with the promoters, and then these girls would just use me to go for a night out. I can't explain it to you. When we would go on a night out together, I'm not the kind of girl that goes out on a night out for boys. I go on a night out to dance, hear loud music and love my life, have fun with my friends and dance. I didn't drink. I just wanted to go out and have fun. That's all I wanted to do. I'm not the kind of girl that goes out and kisses boys in clubs. I have done in the past, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I haven't. I'm not the kind of girl that goes out looking for a guy. I definitely would never go home with a guy from a club. I'm just not that kind of person. But I don't judge anyone for doing that. If they want to go home with a guy, they go home with a guy. Whatever you want to do, you do. But each to their own. We all have different things that we want to do and that's just not me. But if you do that, my hands, you love your life. I don't judge anyone at all. If a guy would come up to me in a club and ask my number or speak to me, just be friendly. A boy can be friendly and you can say to them, I'm not going to give you my number, mate. That's fine. It does not mean that you have your tongue down their throat. These girls would look at me as if I was the biggest SLAG. Honestly, they would look at me like, can I say that slag? Can I say that? Is that a swear word? I'm gonna say it once, then I've done it. I've just said it once. I'll say it again. They would look at me as if I was the biggest slag in the world. Honestly, they would judge me just for a guy talking to me. It was awful. I used to feel like, oh my God, they're looking at me. And sometimes the boys would even say something like, are they your mates? And I'd be like, yeah, I need to go. And I would never speak to anyone. Like, I'm a single girl. If a guy wants to talk to me, he can talk to me, and I'm fully well within my rights to talk to them. Not that I go out looking for that in a club. No chance. No chance. But I shouldn't have friends that are standing there like looking at me, talking about me. You know that intuition where you're like, I know they're talking about me. What annoyed me the most about that one was 2 of them out of the 4 were in relationships. One of them was the girl that laughed at me and had no remorse when I'd caught out that she was slagging me off and all that. And the other one was Samantha, the girl I was really close to. But the other 2, wow, they were not only the most judgmental, but they were the ones that would have different boys back 3 times a week. Yeah. Bearing in mind the university I went to was a performing arts college and you have to be there at 8:20 every morning to register and you don't finish till 6, 7, 8. Sometimes you get a 15-minute break. It's hard work. So I'm there trying to sleep and they'd bring another guy back and they would be, you know, I'm gonna be honest with you, Hans, because otherwise you won't understand the full concept of what I had to live with. They would be having sex with these people, these random men in the flat where I was staying. We didn't have locks on our rooms. So not only did I feel unsafe, but I was like, this is so disrespectful. This might not be for everyone, I understand this, but when I've been in relationships, there's been times where you're respectful, you're in a house where other people are, and you don't make noise. Those girls apparently don't understand the concept of respect. I would be up till about 4 o'clock in the morning hearing everything that they are doing. Not only is that disrespectful to me and the other girls that we live with, but it's outright embarrassing. I don't want anyone to know what I'm doing with my boyfriend or, I mean, whoever those boys were. Why would you want me to see you in the morning when we're eating breakfast knowing I know what you were doing? I just find that embarrassing. That's just mortifying to me. Like, are you okay? Obviously not. Then what's even funnier is they were pretending to their parents when their parents would come over as if they were the most innocent angels in the world. And I was telling my parents about this because I tell them everything anyway. My parents were like, oh my God. Like, their parents think they are saints. Honestly, their parents thought they were angels. They were drinking all the time, having parties. Honestly, they were bringing so many different people back. I'm going to tell you about a couple of occasions. So, we didn't have a lounge. This wasn't just one occasion. This wasn't 2 occasions, this was a couple of occasions. Because we didn't have a lounge, they would bring boys back and they would say, oh, you can sleep in Imogen's room. Sleep in Imogen's room, babes. Imogen's chilling in the bed. So, where's he staying? I would have random boys come into my room. Can you imagine? I'm lying there in my Disney pajamas, or I don't even know what pajamas I'm wearing, a little nightgown, I don't know. You never know. Maybe just underwear. And these guys would come in drunk and be like, oh, they said I could sleep in here because they're in that room. Well, no, you are not getting in my bed with me. Get out. Are you joking? I'd go in and say, are you actually joking me? This is the most disrespectful thing I've ever heard in my life. Can you imagine that? These guys would come into my room and I'd be like, who are you? Anyway, it gets better. I never forget this one time I had my ex-boyfriend round. I never forget this. And never, ever forget this. My first boyfriend, the one I was with for a long time, I had him round. We were trying to be friends. That's another story, but we were trying to be friends. It wasn't working out. I was sitting on my bed watching a film and she comes in, this one girl, Sally, God love Sally. She came into my room where I'm sitting with my ex-boyfriend in her bra and knickers. I'm actually being serious. I mean, fair enough, she had an unreal body, but she would come in and my ex-boyfriend was like, I don't know where to look. And I was like, just look this way, please. Look this way, please, hon. And she was like, try to jump in the bed. I was like, get out. I was like, Sally, what are you doing? Can you understand? I didn't want my ex-boyfriend, but I did not want my ex-boyfriend to be looking at my flatmate when she's in her underwear. Ugh. I was seeing that French guy, which I did a story time about, who turned out to be not very nice. I had him round a couple of times. He never stayed, but he'd come round for dinner and then he'd leave. I have never seen girls that are supposedly my friends, definitely not my friends, let's be honest, but they're meant to be my friends. They were flirting with him. They would try and keep him in the kitchen. I'd be like, oh, like, come to my room. And they'd be like, oh, just 1 second. We're gonna make him tea. They're the kind of girls you cannot trust in a room with your boyfriend. If you put your boyfriend in a room with those girls, they wouldn't care. There's no loyalty there. There's no loyalty at all. No loyalty. Hot in my room. Woo! Don't know whether I should take this choker off, Hans. I feel like, is it the reason I've got a sore throat? No, it's not. It's definitely not. Probably shout too much and scream, don't I? Yep. I definitely do. So it got even better with Sally. It got much better with Sally. So basically, I would go shopping to Zara, Bershka, Topshop, my Selfridge, wherever you can think of. Forever 21. I just loved my life. I'd come back, I'd work for my money, and then I'd buy my stuff. I'd always show them because I'm silly, and I would always show them what I bought. Because I'd be like, oh my God, girls, look what I bought. And I'd want to share it with them. I'd be like, oh, this is cute, isn't it? This is cute. I wouldn't get around to wearing a specific outfit. Sally would go to Zara, Topshop, wherever I've bought the outfit from. She would buy the exact outfit to a T, which is fine. I think that's a compliment. I'm like, thanks, gal. Love that. I'm like, oh my God, you must like my sense of style. Thanks, baby gal. But what I didn't like was she'd buy the outfit and I'd be like, yay, twinny. She'd go and wear it at uni before I've even worn it, and people would give her compliments like, love that shirt. I remember it was this shirt with a tiger on it from Zara. And everyone was like, love that shirt and that skirt together. It's so cute. If that was me and I'd outrightly gone out and copied my flatmate, I would say, oh my God, listen, Sally got it, had to get it, love her style. I'd be like, yes, baby girl, I copied Sally. No. She'd be like, oh my God, thank you. And then I'd wear it 3 days later and everyone would be like, oh, you're copying Sally, or, oh, did Sally lend you that? And I'm like, no, I bought it first. I'm all up for sharing. When I have a friend, I'm like, let's buy the same jacket. I'm like to my mum, let's buy the same tops. I love it. But I wouldn't do that. I'd give credit where credit's due. Like if I get a makeup look and I'm like, oh my God, I want to recreate that, I would give credit to that person and be like, oh my God, I've recreated it. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? What's worse as well, she wouldn't tell me that she'd gone and bought it. So I'd come out of my room in the morning and I'd be like, oh, okay. So this is when it gets worse. I think this is the worst part, but you can tell me what you think is the worst part. So when I went to hospital from uni. It was one day, just my stomach apparently packed up. I'll do a story time about my stomach condition. That's a whole other story. I've got so many story times. Do you know, I get so excited. I'm like, I write in my notes, oh my God, I can do this video, I can do this video. Honestly, YouTube is the best thing in the whole world. Like, I can't explain it to you. I get so excited to film videos. I write them all in my notes. I'm like, I've got this one to do, I've got this one to do. It's just, the possibilities are endless, and I'm like, I can't even believe I get to do this. Like, this is insane. Going off topic, but just wanted to say to you, I love you all so much, and I'm just so grateful that I get to do YouTube. Like, I love YouTube so much. It's just incredible. Like, honestly, I think YouTube's amazing, but I'm going off topic. Anyway, the hospital I was staying in was in Euston, and it was an 18-minute bus journey, and it was like 3 stops on the tube from where we lived. It was nothing. I stayed in hospital in London for like 3 months, and then I went to a hospital near my mum because my mum was like, I want you to be closer to me, because she couldn't travel up to London all the time, so she transferred me to another hospital, but that's another story. They came to see me twice, I think. Yeah, twice. Meant to be my best friends. Even though I disliked those girls and they were horrible, God forbid they were ever in hospital because their stomach or anything like that. Touch wood, that never ever happens. God forbid that ever happens. But what I'm saying is, if the boot was on the other foot, I would have gone to them. I would have gone to them, checked up on them, taken them some face masks, taken them food. I would have checked on them. And do you know what angers me so much? That they didn't come to hospital to see me. They only came to see me because the principal gave flowers for them to give to me. As they turned up with flowers that my principal had given them. And I had tubes here, tubes everywhere. And they just didn't care. They didn't care. They just kept saying, what is it then? What is it? They were just so cold. They were cold, calculating. And do you know what upsets me the most is, by this point, because I wasn't living with them, because I was literally living in hospital, the girl I was really close to, Samantha, she didn't come to see me either. I guess she was around them 24/7, and unfortunately, they took her under her wing. She'd come out of a relationship. They were going out all the time together. And I guess they just, I don't know. It's really sad. It's really sad that she lost herself to them, because she's such a nice girl and they really aren't nice girls. And you know when you see someone, you're like, no, you never used to be like that. I know beforehand she would have come to see me all the time. They just grabbed a hold of her and they were like, no, you're coming with us. I love this one. I would obviously be on Instagram, you know, on Snapchat and stuff like that, because not that I'm Snapchatting me in hospital, but I'd watch things because it was really boring being in that hospital bed all day, every day. I'd watch their Instagrams. They would upload photos on Instagram in my clothes. They were taking photos in my clothes and uploading it on Instagram as if I couldn't see. Are you joking? You can't come and see me in hospital, but you can use my clothes. My ex-boyfriend bought me an expensive handbag. I didn't ask for it. I was so grateful. I was like, oh my God, and I really looked after that bag. Oh no, they have a photo with the bag. I text them. They'd ignore me. So what can I do? Get out of hospital bed and go there? No, couldn't. They knew that I couldn't do anything about it. That's just disgusting, isn't it? So when I was in hospital, they had endless parties at the house. They had boys stay in my bed. They let anyone stay in my bed, which I still had to pay rent for. I still had to pay rent because obviously even though I was in hospital, I still was signed into a contract. So I was paying ridiculous amount of rent for people to stay in it. My mum and dad bought me loads of stuff, like food-wise, and put it in the freezer so that when I'd come out, they were hoping I'd come out sooner than I did, but then the freezer meals would be there for me. Oh no, they ate my food as well, the baby gals, yeah. Baby gals ate my food, they used all my perfumes. I had a Chanel perfume, which I just wasn't gonna use because I bought it and I was like, oh my God, it's such an expensive perfume, I'm just not gonna use it because it's just, you know, you feel me? Because I was like, I'm never gonna be able to replace it. Oh no, when I got back, I'm being serious. The Chanel perfume was this big. I wish it was this big, but it wasn't. But let's say it was that full. It was like there when I got out of hospital. Yeah. Makeup had gone missing, clothes had been used, clothes had gone missing. Like, I don't know about you, but I can picture my wardrobe. Like, I know exactly what I own. My clothes had gone missing, my makeup had gone missing, everything. Everything. But I couldn't prove it and say, go into your room and get me my stuff. Do you know what I mean? People were messaging me from uni that weren't the girls I lived with, weren't my best friends, they were messaging me. But what angered me so much was that my flatmates were pretending that they were seeing me all the time. These people text me like, oh, they said they went to see you today. Did they? Did they? I mean, I might be on medication, but I'm pretty sure I'd remember if someone came to see me. Do you know what I mean? I'm only on pain relief, hun. I'm only on pain relief. So then when I came out of hospital, I had a whole term off. I'd missed a whole term and I had to repeat that term in order to get my degree credits. It was the most horrifically strenuous 2 weeks of my life. I promise you, I had to fit a whole term of work into 2 weeks, learn everything by watching videos that these girls had learned in class, that had been taught in class. You know, I missed out on all the singing lessons, I missed out on all the dance lessons, I missed out on everything. And I was literally sitting in my room trying to learn everything. Coming out of hospital and going home to that was horrific. My room was a mess, everything was missing. There were things I found in my bed that I will not even mention, but you can imagine. Later on told actually by a lovely boy that had come to a house party, which they didn't tell me about. Oh yeah, they like to do that one as well. They had loads of house parties, but would never ask me if that was okay. So I'd be there trying to study, and I'd also be there still ill, because when you come out of hospital, my stomach wasn't fixed. I was still having to be on medication, and I went into hospital quite frequently as well, because when I have stress, my stomach can't cope with it, and living with those girls was stress enough. Bearing in mind I still had to do my degree, I still had loads of other things on, so I was going back to hospital quite frequently. Ambulances would have to come get me from uni or from the house, and I was going to hospital quite a lot. But they were having house parties and never saying to me, oh, we're gonna have these people over. They didn't care. They'd bring back people at 4 o'clock in the morning and make so much noise. And I had to be on morphine at one point, and morphine is so strong. Morphine was the only thing that would help with the pain. And I would be so drowsy and I'd feel sick and I'd wake up to noise. And I mean, come on, I'm all up for having fun. I am really fun. I think I'm really fun anyway. I'm definitely fun. But there's a level of respect. I was paying the exact same amount of rent as them, but they just didn't care. They didn't care. They had no respect for me. They didn't like me. They were like, whatever, we don't care about her. It made me not want to go to university because going in every day was hell. I had to get up and sing in front of people, and that's nerve-wracking at the best of times, but I'd have to get up in front of the girls who I knew hated me. They honestly did everything they could to make me feel rubbish and segregated. They'd walk to uni without me in the morning, like they'd literally make no noise in the morning and leave, and I'd think that they hadn't left already, and I'd be waiting for them. They'd already be gone to university. They'd already gone. We always used to walk together, and then they just sort of decided, don't like her, not walking with her. And then it was just awful at uni because I had no one. I'd made them my only thing. Everyone by this point, this is like literally nearly 3rd year, everyone by this point have already got their clique, they've already got their friendship group, and there's me like, I'm just an outsider. And I used to have panic attacks about going to university. Honestly, I remember I used to go to university and leave. I'd walk into the front building, I'd go to register, and then I'd just go and leave. I'd have a panic attack and I'd call my mum and be like, can't do it, I can't do it. It was awful. It was awful. Those girls would laugh at me if I did something wrong in dancing. Bearing in mind, I'd missed a whole term because I was ill. I was still trying to make up for lost time. They were just awful, awful humans. I can't even imagine ever being friends with someone like that. What were you thinking, Imogen? I mean, there were so many incidents to even talk about, but I found a friend that was outside of university and I loved her. She got me through that. She got me through that because I actually stayed with her a lot. I was paying rent to not even stay there because I didn't want to stay there. When I'd come to get my dinner, I'd go into the kitchen and they'd all be sitting on the kitchen top. I'd be like, oh, can I just use the microwave? And they'd be sitting in front of it like, and I'd be like, I just need to get some microwave, and they'd be like laughing to each other. They'd all have like little duvet nights and they'd just laugh in their rooms, and I'd be sitting in my room like, okay. And listen, I don't mind my own company, but when you're being segregated like that and made to feel like an outsider, it's horrible to live with, to go to uni with. It was just horrible. On one house party, on one occasion, this guy once came round and he was like, oh, are you Imogen? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh, I had sex with so-and-so in your bed. Thank you. That is so vile. Like, I paid an extortionate amount for them to not use their bedrooms, but apparently use my bedrooms. That is just vile, like actually vile. They'd have people from my university around, and some of the boys and girls from my university would be like, oh, are you coming on a, oh, okay. Some of the girls and boys from my university would come around for our house parties and be like, oh, are you coming out with us? And I'd be like, haven't been invited. My whole group from uni would all come round and they'd be like, you coming out? And I'd be like, haven't been invited. And they'd be like, oh no, Imogen's not very well. I'd just be in my room hearing them all have fun, like, okay. Then I remember this one occasion I went to hospital and I got released from hospital. I stayed there. I didn't stay there overnight. They let me go at 2 o'clock in the morning, gave me different pain relief. I never forget this. And I went back home and I was so so out of it. I was on so much medication that I was just out of it. And they brought 4 boys back. They were making an obscene amount of noise. And I called Jacob at the time and I was like, Jacob, I really don't feel safe. I really don't want to be here. And I was like, I don't feel well. I don't want to be here. Like, they're just shouting. They were running up and down outside my bedroom with these boys, banging on my door with their heels. And the boys were saying, is the witch alive? Is the witch awake? The witch. Calling me the witch. These boys, they were calling me witch, other things that I won't go into. And they were all laughing about it outside my door. Honestly, I was so scared. I felt scared. And I was living there. My brother was like, I really don't want to be here. Like, can you hear them? My brother heard it. My brother was going mad. My brother was in Brighton and could hear all this going on. He was like, I want to be there. I want to get there right now. I felt so ill. I called my friend at 2 o'clock in the morning. I was like, can I come to your house? I got an Uber to her house and went and stayed there. And thank God I had her. And I remember going out to them and I remember saying, you are horrible. You are all horrible. And one of the boys actually turned out to be the girl's boyfriend. They're not together now. Shock. Sorry, but I'm just saying this boy was nasty. If a boy can do that to another girl, if a boy can bang on a girl's door and call her a witch and try and wake her up when she's been in hospital, and you're gonna make that boy your boyfriend, cool. So I went into them in the kitchen. They were all laughing. And I was like, you're disgusting. I pay the same amount of rent as you and you want to disrespect me like this. I said, you're actually horrible people and you're bullies and I will not allow you to bully me. I won't allow you to bully me. And I promise you, I actually pity you. I said this to them. I said, I pity you. I pity that you think this is acceptable. And I said to the girls, I pity you as well, because if you actually think that these boys are nice boys to be having around your house, then cool. Good one, because they definitely aren't the person I'd want to have as my husband or the person I'd want to have as my baby daddy. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? There's just so much that happened when I lived there, honestly. You know what's really funny as well? They tried to make out that I was stealing their food, but if I ate that food, I would go to hospital. So one time they were like, oh, Nutella's gone missing. If I ate Nutella, I'd be in hospital. Like, are you all right? They'd have their heating on all the time. I'd come home from hospital or come home from uni or come home from the library and the heating would be on all the time. And I'd be like, listen, girls, they were lucky enough to have their parents help them out. I paid for everything myself. I worked so hard. I worked as much as I could in order to live there. I'd be in the shower, they'd turn the hot water off. And also when I was in the shower, if you run the tap in the kitchen, it makes the water go cold. They do that when I was in the shower. I honestly can't even go into all of the incidents because we'd be here for days. We would be here for days. Like, even talking about it brings up things I'm like, ugh. Like, how can girls be like that? How can people be like that? I just don't understand it. And you know what? I'm actually appreciative that I don't understand it and I never will understand it, because clearly I'm not like those girls. I look at those girls and think, how could you ever be like that? And one thing I want to say is, yeah, okay, I was naive, and yeah, okay, I should have seen the warning signs at the time, but I don't regret living with them. I don't regret it. I don't regret making friends with them because they taught me so much. If they weren't the way they were to me, and if I didn't go what I went through, then I wouldn't be the person I am today. And I actually am really proud of who I am today. Sorry. I'm actually really proud of who I am today because I'm a strong person. I have dealt with things and I look back and think, I'm through that. You know, they made me the person I am today. If I hadn't lived with them and I haven't been friends with them, maybe I wouldn't be the person I am today. And I'm very strong, I'm very independent. I pride myself on the fact that now I like my own company. I never used to. I was so dependent on everyone. I used to have to always be around someone. I couldn't be on my own. I couldn't be in my own company. I love my own company now. I love my best friends, don't get me wrong, I adore them and I love my family. But I'm also very comfortable in my own skin. I'm very comfortable to go to the shops, go for dinner, go to the cinema on my own. And I'm grateful to those girls. So if those girls are watching, they're probably going to give it a thumbs down, but thank you for making me the person I am today. Thank you for being nasty. Thank you for bullying me. Thank you for making me feel intimidated and scared. Everything you made me feel, because I'm out the other end. And you will probably always be the nasty people that you were. And the way I look at it is that I pity them. They aren't very nice people. And they will probably go through life not being very nice people. But I am a nice person. I pride myself on the fact I'm loyal and I'm loving. And I'm a good friend. I am a good friend. I'm not sitting here saying I'm amazing at everything, but one thing I'm very good at is being a friend. And when you're my friend, I'll do anything for you. Anything for you. And maybe sometimes I am too nice. I don't even think that's a thing. When I was younger, I was bullied for being too nice. But actually, I would much rather be too nice than be malicious and nasty and bullies like them. Okay, sometimes you get hurt, but my worst feature, being too nice, is actually my best. I would much rather be too nice and sleep at night with a clear conscience than be them. So in the end, win, huns, we win. And now look, I get to share what I went through with all of my friends, my real friends. You are my real friends. You support me and love me in ways I never ever deemed possible. Honestly, I have had really bad friendships. Like, I'm gonna do more story times about them, because I was speaking to my best friend Charlotte and she was like, Imogen, the girls you have attracted in your life and the things you've been through with friends, it's another level. I have so many stories about friendships. This isn't just the only broken friendship story I have. Like, I have stories of being bullied at school. I have friendship stories of girls that are just, oh, like you wouldn't even believe it. You wouldn't even believe it. I'm gonna do so many story times because you know how nice it is that I get to share this with you. I get to share this with people that I trust. I trust all of you. And I just want you to know that if you are going through this, you're not alone. Do you know the response on the last video is just amazing? Even my dad, he like got upset about it. My dad's emotional too. My mum and dad are emotional wrecks, hence the reason I am the way I am. But my dad was so emotional about it and he was crying because he was like, reading through your comments, reading how many people go through this all the time is actually awful. We need to stick together. Like, we need to stick together. If there's someone in your life who is toxic, get rid with both elbows. Get rid with both elbows, huns. Life is too short to surround yourself with people who don't have your best interests at heart. Like, your best friend should be the person that celebrates your victories and is the first person to tell you how amazing you are and the first person to be your biggest fan. Your best friend should be your biggest fan. They shouldn't be jealous of you. They shouldn't be nasty to you. They shouldn't be nasty about you. Listen, there are enough people out there that are going to be nasty to you. Your best friends and your friendship group should not be those people. You should surround yourself with people who raise and praise you. That is what I'm all about, raising and praising. We need to stick together, my little hum buns. I'm sorry this video has been really long. I really apologise, but I really hope you liked it. If you did, please give it a massive thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. Please join my family. I would love it so much. I have a really exciting video for you on Tuesday as well, and I just love filming. I love this. I love you. I can't explain it to you. I don't think I ever will be able to explain it to you, but thank you for letting me speak about this. Thank you for letting me share my story. Just know that I've got you, always. I'm always here with you. I read through every comment. When I love heart that comment, I'm being serious. I've read that comment. I don't just go love heart, love heart, love heart. I'm like, oh my God, you're amazing. Why am I? Honestly, I genuinely believe I'm the most emotional person in the whole world. What did I cry at earlier? I was reading a caption on someone's Instagram and they were like telling someone how much they loved them and I was like, it's amazing. Am I okay? Are you all right? No, I'm not. Also, if you made it this far, then thank you. Oh my God, did I talk for England? Yeah, I did. If you're new to my channel, then wow. If you got this far in this video, then I feel grateful. I must have done something right. So basically, I do this game on my channel where I mime to a song and you just gotta guess the song. You just gotta guess the song. Don't I look like something from 13 going on 30? You know, when she's at the beginning of the video, I feel really like that. You know Jenna at the beginning of the video in 13 going on 30? I feel like that. I feel like that in this outfit because they loved that. What year was that? The 90s? I don't know. But I feel really disco-y. That's what I feel like. Anyway, I play this game on my channel. Butterfly, sorry. I play this game on my channel where I mime to a song and you just gotta guess the song. So let's get on with it. Okay, so before you go, I've got a shout out to do. My shout out this week is for Mercedes Patterson, loving Mercedes Angel Face, because you went up to my mum in the airport. Maybe you're still on holiday, and if you are, baby girl, I am jealous, baby girl. But you went up to my mum, and my mum was so proud. You went up to my mum and said that, are you Imogen's mum? And my mum was so proud. She cried, she called me. My mum was just so proud that you even recognised her and that you watched my videos. My mum was just so proud, she cried. So thanks, Mercedes, and thanks to every single one of you who watch my videos. I love you so much. As usual, I'll link my choker, my hairband, my jacket, my bodysuit slash swimsuit down below if you want to tell me like these nails. But yeah, I'll link it all below in case you want to be twins with me. Sharing's caring and all that. So until next time, angels, I'm gonna love you. I can't sing because my throat is horrific right now. I'm gonna love you. And I'm gonna leave you. Don't know what happened there. Don't really know what happened there, baby girl boys. Oh my god, I've got stains all down this top. And no bra on. I have got stains down this top and I've just filmed a whole video. No one to even tell about it, but I'm gonna tell you, Hans. You okay, Imogen? Apparently not.